I'm going to show you why this interception in overtime isn't entirely Caleb Williams' fault, but it's also not really DJ Moore's fault. Caleb is late to make the read. He doesn't get everything on the throw that he needs to, but DJ Moore does kind of give up, and he also should have flattened his route out a little bit more. Let's go in depth. For starters, the Bears are going to come out in trips wide to the left, and the Rams are going to come up with a too-high shell. What does that mean? It means middle of field open, we have two safeties. Every other defensive back seems to be lined up in man. Now, we're going to get this motion across from Manungai. He's going to motion from the Z receiver all the way on the outside into like a tight end spot. And you see that the Rams defenders don't actually run with him. They just kind of shift. That means it's almost certainly going to be zone. Now, right before the snap, you see how that corner at the top of the screen, I believe that's Kobe Durant. You see how he starts to backpedal out? That's because eventually the Rams are going to rotate into what I believe is, although it's not easy to tell, a version of cover 6. So when I say cover 6, that means at the top of the screen they're going to be playing cover 4, and at the bottom of the screen they're going to be playing cover 2. I'll draw it up. So this is what the cover 6 looks like. We've got that middle of field safety. He's crashing all the way back across the field to get into a half field coverage. We got two linebackers and a box safety, and they're just kind of running hook curl zones across the middle. And then you're going to have a flat defender in that cornerback to the bottom of the screen who's lined up across from Burden. Because there's going to be a gap between these hook curl defenders and that deep half safety. And that deep half safety has to run about 40 yards to cover this right sideline. Komet's going to run a little block and release into the flat. Burden's going to run a little out. These are just preoccupying routes, right? The whole purpose of Burden running that out is he's supposed to take this man out of the play. Because if he gets pulled up, that pink zone of opportunity gets bigger, right? If he drops back, if he freelances and drops back, he can get rid of that pink zone of opportunity. He can fill it and turn that into an interception. So you need Burden to run this out to draw the defender away. Brilliant play design so far. DJ Moore is going to run a sail route here, and it's going to perfectly exploit that pink opportunity zone. It's the perfect route. Finally, just in case, and I actually really like this play design, at the beginning of the play, you see two high safeties, which means middle of field open. What does that mean? You're either getting cover 2 or cover 4, which means that there should be like a little gap in the middle here if that's going to be the case. Now, it ends up not really being the case because cover 6 is neither of those, but just in case, Rome Odunze is running a crooked streak, just trying to find the middle of those safeties and run right through the middle. This is a perfect play for this defense. If the safety gets over too quickly and takes away your sail to DJ Moore, the red route, if that middle of field safety, here, I'll even circle him in pink. If this guy gets over too quickly and fills that pink opportunity zone, he's vacated the area that Rome Odunze is about to run through, and Rome Odunze is open for a touchdown. If he stays where he's supposed to be, because he's afraid of Rome Odunze, as he should be, DJ Moore's wide open in the pink opportunity zone because this defender is occupied by Luther Burden's out. There is no way for this offensive play to lose. It is brilliantly designed. This is Ben Johnson at his best. From the moment that the safety passes Rome Odunze off, he knows exactly what's coming. He sees DJ Moore. He understands the route that he's running. He knows what comes next. At this point, Caleb still hasn't made his decision, and frankly, most of the time, for most quarterbacks that don't have Caleb Williams' arm talent, this play's already over, right? If the ball's not out by now, most quarterbacks don't have the amount of velocity necessary to make this throw. So DJ Moore thinks it's kind of over. Additionally, DJ Moore's job on the sail route is to stay flat. What does that mean? It means that no matter what, he needs to be between the safety and the quarterback, right? He can't let the safety get underneath him. So he needs to, instead of DJ Moore's route calls for him to do something like this, you can't do that. You got to flatten it out like this yellow line because you have to make sure that you are in front of the safety. Now, Caleb's a little late. DJ Moore's a little lazy. Absolutely. Let's give myself a little bit of runway here. DJ Moore kind of just bends it out, continues with the sail, and he's running towards that 20, maybe even 15-yard marker. He needs to be flattening himself out. That being said, this ball is dramatically underthrown and left far outside. You'd like to see, and it wouldn't have really changed the result. You'd like to see this ball 3 yards to the left, just inside that 20, and a little further downfield with a little bit more height. Still, DJ Moore has to try. He doesn't expect the ball because it's so late in the down, and most quarterbacks aren't throwing that so late in the down. I bet you that when Caleb was taught this play, he was taught, hey, if you're not confident in the scissor concept with the sail and the streak in the middle, just hit Monungai for a 5-yard gain. Because Monungai's going to be wide open in the middle of the field. Right? Or, hey, if you don't like the deep shots, just check it down on that flat to Cole Kmet. Live to fight another day. But Caleb Williams has special arm talent, so he can do special things. And special things break all the rules that receivers are trained to know. Caleb Williams underthrows it. Caleb Williams leaves it too far outside. Caleb Williams doesn't follow through on his throw, if you'll see on the tight copy. He doesn't really step all the way through his throw. He leaves a little bit off of it. And if he hadn't, maybe this ball's in a more catchable position for DJ Moore. Right? He kind of falls away from it a little bit. This is something I call flamingoing. He does a lot of. When Caleb Williams senses that he's going to get contacted, he stands on one leg and he kind of flinches and leans away from the hit. And maybe that's why the ball ends up so far outside. Maybe that's why the ball ends up so flat and low when it could have been a little higher and a little deeper, enabling DJ Moore to win his route. Is it DJ Moore's fault? A little bit. Could Caleb Williams have played a lot better on that play? Absolutely. It's still an interceptable throw, but DJ Moore kind of dogged it, and Caleb Williams was a little late.